What's going on? It's your tech homeboy. That's hashtag your tech homeboy. What's going on, people? Hit the likes, hit the subscribe, hit the share. This is a slight follow up to yesterday's video about return to office and seeing the positive side of returning to office. So if you haven't watched the video, the link is in the description. But this video is a slight follow up. We're also going to talk about some FIBA basketball, and I'm going to address something I talked about earlier, which is some of the apps I use to improve my productivity, to make my brain work better, and also an app I'm using to learn how to code. So stick around. Y'all know how I like to do it quick and short. All right. So number one, return to office. Are you that tech worker who has to return to office? Right? Or you might be that job seeker who is only searching for remote work online. Okay. Well, yesterday I talked about some of the positives of returning to work. Of course, I started out with some of the negatives. You got to deal with your coworkers. You got to drive. You got to spend money on transportation. But then some of the negatives, positives that you get to learn more about your coworkers, especially if you're like a people or project manager. You get to know more about the project and the product that you're delivering. You get to form better relationships. You get to have those crucial conversations also in person. So another positive thing, especially if you are seeking a job in the tech world and you are willing to come into the office. If you are willing to come into the office, if you are not checking hybrid and remote only when you're going through your LinkedIn and your Monster and your Dice.com, when you're going through all the job marketplaces, if you're clicking in office and if you're speaking to recruiters and you're saying, hey, I'm 100% willing to work in the office, you will stand out as a great candidate compared to someone who's only clicking remote or hybrid only, for sure. Also, if you're seeing job descriptions that say must be in office, I would still apply for those. Okay, you never know what happens when you get on the interview or when you meet your particular team that you're working on. They may have a different way of doing things than their company. So, number one, always uh, just to repeat, if you are looking for a job, you will stand out as a great candidate if you are willing to come into the office. That's whether you're filtering that option online or if you're just speaking to recruiters and saying that. All right. So that is the good news. You see, if you look online, there's a lot of data that was compiled for the Fortune 100 companies. So the company I work for, they're more of a mid-sized company, but these are statistics on Fortune 100 companies. 77% of them operate on a hybrid work schedule, so they come to the office 1 to 2 days a week. They A fifth of them, 21%, requires 3 office visits per week. This is the most common policy. The company I work at, we have a 2 times a week policy right now, and then most companies have not announced an official return to office. So we can expect, even if you, so I guess the silver lining of that is that with some companies' uncertainty when they return to the office, if you keep searching for a role and you're trying to get into tech, because this is not a short term thing, we want to be in tech for long term, baby. Long term investments, long term sacrifices, long term money, long term gains. Okay, if you're willing to stick with this and maybe you're having trouble, 2024 could speak to a great opening, because people are kind of given the opportunity to, people who work in the office, we're given the opportunity to kind of get acclimated to this new schedule and kind of anticipate being in the office 4 or 5 days a week in the future. At least that's what I think. I don't think 2 or 3 days would be a new normal. I think we're eventually going to get back to 4 or 5 days a week. The positive side of that, the silver lining, is that if you're looking for a job, you might find a large opening in 2024 for people who are willing to come into the office. Okay. Additionally, don't assume companies will hire from within. They might actually hire from outside of the company, especially if you're nearby their headquarters. If they're working with someone who's in Denver and their headquarters are in Chicago, that could open up a role for you. So there's just something to consider, all right? So that is the good news. Stay in this fight. I want to see y'all working. I want to see y'all making those 6 figures, okay? Now on to my t-shirt. I know everybody's asking. You see I got my Halliburton t-shirt. He's the backup point guard right now. He's playing behind Jalen Brunson for FIBA Basketball. If you don't know, the USA, they are in Group C with Jordan, Greece, New Zealand. Easy work. All right. That should be easy work for the guys. I love all the young players. So energetic. Just so team ball oriented. Kerr has those guys looking great. Halliburton, he's my boy. To me, he's the top 5 point guard in the league. So I'm always repping his shirt. So check him out. He's going to be playing backup to Jalen Brunson. The first game is Saturdays, I believe. Saturday, 7:40 a.m. Then they play again Monday. They'll be playing New Zealand Saturday. Then they're playing Greece Monday. I don't know if Giannis will be playing there. I'm sure his brother will. But I don't know if Giannis will be playing in the Greece game against USA. All right? So if you are going against USA, tell me who you're going with. Who you rocking with? Who do you think can beat USA? I think USA can take it all the way. For sure. No doubt about it. All right? So if you disagree, that's on you. So moving on, 2 apps that I mentioned in previous videos. I said I was going to go into depth about it. So one app I use to stay sharp, build confidence, boost productivity, it's called Elevate. You do have a free trial. You just search in your iPhone or your Android. I'm sure it's on Android too. Just search Elevate, Elevate. Brain games. There's plenty of brain games that breaks up so many different great lessons. You get like rewards and stuff. You improve your self-confidence, your productivity, your memory, your ability to like retain names. You're improving your grammar. They just, basic math, right? Multiplication, division, subtraction, addition. But they also talk about like change and at a cashier change with money. Proportional math as well. Like, what is 25% of this amount? What is 25% converted to a fraction? Stuff like that. It really just goes over everything. I really like the name retention. That's something that I need and I use. Is extremely applicable. So check it out. There's a free version, but I think I paid $30 for the year. I think that's what I ended up paying for the year to unlock all the other cool features. It's definitely worth it. There's a daily challenge you can do, and of course there's high scores on there you can use to compete with each other. It's called Elevate Brain Games. I do not get paid for this, but if y'all know Elevate, hit me up. It's a great app. Definitely willing to stand by this app. Another app I use for coding. Okay, I use this to learn coding. I've touched on this one a bit, but it's called Solo Learn. And all these links are in the description. Just check the description. Solo Learn. SOLOLEARN. You can check that out on iPhone. I don't know what you Android users use. There's also a desktop version, but I use both of these apps on my phone. I use this to learn SQL, but there is everything on there: C#, C, Python, and everything else that has to do with web development. They have even like introductory tech for everyone. They have intermediate and expert levels of web development, for C, C++, C square, JavaScript, Java, freaking everything, okay? They have all that kind of stuff, all right? They have like kind of bite-sized programs or I guess lessons that you can go through. And there's even a certificate you can earn where you can show people, hey, I put in these amount of hours, I've earned this certificate. There's like quizzes and exams and stuff. It's more than 20 courses, all right? I'm not going to go through it. They're not paying me either, but I definitely stand by this. This is something that my wife has used as well. Thank you, Boo. She's the one who referred it to me. But it's something you should use if you want to get into coding and you're not willing to open up a textbook. You want to see what it entails. You want to see the kind of effort, if it even makes sense to you. If it's English or if it's foreign, just check them all out. Get into it. Get your hands on it. It's a great way for you to contextualize some of the things you may be reading if you want to get into like web development, Python, SQL database. It's something for you to get your actual hands on, okay? If you have any questions, if you got a topic you want me to hit, just leave a comment. If you don't want to leave a comment, you can still like, share, or subscribe to Your Tech Homeboy. Who you need to talk to when you need to know tech? Your Tech Homeboy. You got any questions? Ask your tech homeboy, all right? So we've been doing this for almost 10 minutes. It's a great video. YouTube, for some reason, will not recognize my camera. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, bro, it held up 20 minutes, 25 minutes trying to connect it. But that's nothing to a G, all right? So make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you for giving me your time. You're the best.